Bola is a 35-year-old businesswoman married to Bode, and they've been married for about 3 years now. But before Bode, Bola dated Boye, who is a natural sweetheart, and they dated for 10 years. But Boye was a smooth talker and the everybody wants to have kind of fine boy. You can guess what that means. Cheated on her. She was faithful. Eventually, they broke up, and they broke up really, really bad. Now, Bola is in this marriage with Bode, who absolutely adores and loves her. But she is yet to heal completely from the damage that Boye has done. Welcome to Stay Married. My name is Mo with the double O, and it's good to have you on this edition again. So back to that story that we opened with. Bola is this amazing woman, and she's with this great guy who truly loves, adores her, and wants to make the best of their married life together. But here is Bola, who is still hurting and carrying the pain from her breakup with Boye. Now, there are many people that find themselves in situations like this, where they are carrying unhealthy baggages, remnants of experiences from their past lives into their marriage. And trust me, these things have a way of affecting the quality of relationship that you have now. So let's talk about emotional baggage. Now, you know that marriage is about two complete human beings coming together to complement themselves on this journey of life. But many times, of course, especially when you're marrying above your 20s, you're 29, 30, 35, again, because people get into careers, life has happened to you, so to speak. By the time you then find the person or meet the person that you want to settle with, you've had some experiences, or you had some experiences. Many times good, many times not so good. And these experiences leave a token on you, on your soul, on your heart, and they form the basis of which you react, or with which you react to other people. Now, if one is not careful, you start to deal with other people based off your past experiences. We say this thing, experience is the best teacher. Questionable, right? Because again, if you allow your experience dictates that you relate with other people, it necessarily may not be right, because not everybody is out to hurt you. So back to Bola, who is our case study today. Bola's been hurt. She's giving 10 years of her life to this guy who, and you know the way women are when you are in love with somebody who she truly loved, thought that she was going to spend the rest of her life with, but who trampled on her heart, trampled on her commitment, trampled on her faithfulness, and pretty much threw it back in her face. Now, here is Bode, who truly wants to build a life with her. But Bola certainly doesn't trust anybody as much. He's holding back and doesn't want to give everything so that she's not hurt again. You know, the way that you keep yourself from giving it all. How do we say it? You know, you just remain something to have control over. And those are some of the things that are responsible for building up emotional baggage. Emotional baggage can also come from childhood experiences and trauma. If you lived with parents who were violent, or experienced divorce, or any other type of childhood trauma, if your childhood in any way wasn't the rosy fairy tale childhood, and there's so many things that can build up emotional baggage. Now, why is this important? Because if you do not identify the baggages that you are carrying, it would mar the quality of relationship that you have now. So how do you identify if you are carrying any emotional baggage? First thing is to do a self-audit. What are the things that you believe? If you believe that I shouldn't trust a man 100%, why do you believe that? And you would usually find because of a prior experience. Okay, so I trusted somebody for 10 years, using Bola as a case study now, and the trust was thrown in her face. Does that mean that Bode is the yardstick with which you measure all kinds of men? And that is a no. The truth is, for you to be able to deal with, you've got to shine light on some of those pending issues, emotions that have been buried. It may not be an easy journey, but it is something that we need to do if you truly want to enjoy your marriage, if you truly want to have the best of experiences, if you truly want to build a marriage that is joyful and happy and that glorifies God. We have to shine the light in the dark places where we have buried emotions of fear, of guilt, of regret, whatever it is that those emotions may be for you. It's important that you begin to shine the light and start a self-audit. What happened to me? Why did this happen? What did I have to do about it? Or who did this? Even in identifying the why, you sort of are able to take power back. And that's the process in beginning to identify what emotional baggage am I carrying and what has this done to me, right? So when you identify first what your stressors are, is mine, anger, and what your triggers are as well. So that the stressors, what has caused it, and what triggers it. So for somebody like Bola, who Boye constantly, was playing, they were not free to, couldn't check phones. And you really don't have any business checking his phone. But, he was constantly lying and to timing. And the way that a woman senses things. This guy is cheating on me. If your husband perhaps have any reason to cancel a prior appointment for very good reasons, you start to think something is up. You need to find what your stressors or triggers are. No, so I'm talking about triggers now. So identify your stressors, identify what the issue is, and then what are the triggers? What triggers those memories? What triggers the hurt? What triggers the pain? What triggers the experience? What makes me react in this way? What makes me launch out or even attack? What gets me angry? I think one of the things that we need to do for ourselves, even as we aim to build a truly blissful marriage, right, is to be mindful and live, in the present. So mindfulness meaning there are times that you find yourself just unhappy. And if you're not careful, you just realize that you are cranky, you're reacting, and you're just snapping at everybody. You need to be able to say, hold up. What's going on? Why am I angry? Why am I reacting this way? What is wrong? Many times there are underlying scripts playing in your head, and there may not even be anything recent. But when you don't live mindful, you are likely to just continue to attack the people that love you and who genuinely want to grow with you. And we don't want to do that, right? So, what are some of the signs that you should watch out for that can show you if you do have emotional baggage? One, lack of trust. When you don't trust your partner, it may be a sign that you are carrying burdens from the past that are telltales of trust issues. Because to build a truly fulfilling marriage, trust is a key ingredient. But when you do not trust your partner, you start to ask yourself, why don't I trust them? Is it because of prior experiences? I've trusted people in the past and the results haven't been good. What were the circumstances? And then, just do a self-analysis. Well, so this person and that person, are they the same? Because you really, really want to be able to take power in your hands and not live your life based on past experiences. You have so much ahead of you. It said that many people live their lives stuck in the past, in the place of regrets where you can't do anything about it. But here is your present and your future lying ahead of you that you actually can do something about. You can't do so much about the past, but you have the present here and the future. And it's the things that you do today that will determine what that future looks like. Do you see? So don't even worry so much about the future, because what you do today will take care of the future. Literally. So you want to start to ask yourself and drill down, why do I have trust issues? Why? What's responsible? For some people, it's fear. That's the second point. Fear, paranoia. You just feel that something is going wrong. Wow, this guy is good. So people just say, this guy is going to cheat. I'm like, why do you think the worst? You need to ask yourself these questions, because as you unearth these things, so if you experience a lot of paranoia, if you're not at peace with yourself and with your spouse and with your partner, then you're likely carrying a lot of emotional baggage that you need to drill down and open up. Find a counselor, somebody to speak with, because it would affect your relationship. And you see, many times you don't even realize what it's doing to your spouse, because they are trying and extending love to you, but you're shutting them out, literally. The other thing that I want to mention is feeling that sense of guilt and regret when you constantly feel like, carry a burden of regret. Like, I could have done better, or I could have done this. I think for people that perhaps, you're trusting God for a child, irrespective of the past that you've lived, when you come to reconciliation with God, it takes care of your past. You've got to leave regret where it is, because it serves you nothing. And know that God is able to start afresh with you. He's the God of many chances. So emotional baggage also comes as a result of regret and guilt that you've got to drop. When you feel that heavy sense of guilt and regret, please drop it. Talk through it. Find a counselor. How do we deal with this? One, and I spoke to this already, identify what the issues are. If you experience any of these signs, what is responsible for this thing? The way that they say that a problem shared or identified is half solved. When you understand what your problem is solved, literally, because you then know the roots, you can take power back. Second thing that you should do to heal yourself of emotional baggage is to forgive. That is such a big word. And it's not only forgive the other party, it's even to forgive yourself forgive you. You are worthy of forgiveness. Forgive yourself for your mistakes. Forgive yourself for your ignorance. Forgive yourself for any way that you may have lived before now. Forgive yourself for the errors that you make. In fact, don't take yourself too seriously. Give yourself allowance to, can you imagine? I didn't do this so well. I know better now. You've got to give yourself that room to make mistakes and learn, because we all need it. God is not seeking perfection. He's seeking our heart and obedience. When you come to God, it's not a ruler and master kind of relationship. It's father-child. And a father knows that his children will make mistakes, but he loves them all the same. The Bible says clearly to us that whilst we were yet sinners, Christ died for us. So even in the messiest mess, no matter how terrible that mess could have been, he knew about it and he forgave you. So please don't hold yourself from experiencing the bliss of forgiveness. And when you forgive yourself, you can extend forgiveness to other people. I think that we find it easier to forgive other people than to forgive ourselves. And it has to be a two-pronged approach. You forgive yourself first, because it's when you're able to forgive yourself that you're truly able to forgive others. If you don't forgive yourself truly, it's difficult to forgive other people. So please forgive yourself and forgive other people. Last but not least, certainly, is focus on now. The past is gone. It's in the past. The experiences of the past are there. Yes, it shaped who we are, but it shouldn't determine what our life is now. You've got a choice. What kind of marriage do I want to build? What kind of relationship do I want to have with my spouse? What kind of life do I want? And focus on building that now. Take power away from the past. Take power away from your pain. Take power away from the negative experiences. Take power away from the person who hurt you. If they knew better, they probably wouldn't do that. But take power away from them. The way that I see it is that everything that has happened to you in terms of your previous experiences happened for a reason, to shaping you and to prepare you for who you're going to be. And when you see it that way, switching your perspective, when you see that, when you think about somebody hurting you, it seems like that person has power over you, but that's not true. And the classic example for me will be Joseph. If you read the scripture well, and the story of Joseph, where his brothers were saying to him, we're so sorry, we, for what we had done to you many years ago. And Joseph said to them, no, don't worry. God sent me ahead to prepare. That is so powerful. The day that realization came to me again, it literally took, because it's easy for Joseph to sit on that high horse. His brother sold him into slavery. Yes, that was what happened. But if you flip that and think about the fact that God was sending Joseph ahead to Egypt so that he could provide food for famine that was going to happen years after. That is power. That is purpose. You've got to see purpose in your pain. Flip it over. Or even if it was around somebody did this work, can you flip that experience over and see how God has used it to prepare you? It may have been a bad experience, but it certainly added some value to your life that you can pick from some lessons from and use that to also bless other people. So flip the problem over, switch the perspective, and take power back. I trust that this has blessed you. If you'd like to write to me, please write to me via email at moakpara@gmail.com. I'll be willing to respond to you. Thank you to everyone who constantly gives feedback on the work that we do. We would be here again and again, trusting God to continue to bring you content that edify and help you on your marital journey. Till we come again your way on the next edition, stay blessed, stay joyful, and do something about whatever emotional baggage you may be carrying, because the now is more important. Bye.